What's up, guys? Welcome back to another trade review with me, Oscar, also known as Carlson in chat. Today I'm going to review one of my profits, or one of my latest trades that turned out to be a profit. I was initially planning on playing either CLBS or LTBR. I was more excited about LTBR because that was just even a more clear setup than CLBS was to me. I'll get into the trade and explain my thought process. So, CLBS, it's a gap up, as you can see on the chart. We have seen the latest, I don't know, 2 weeks now, probably, a huge amount of gap ups, and the majority of them actually just gap and grab. And there is some science behind it, and I found not a strategy but something when many indicators and many pieces lined up. Of course, the odds of it going in your favor is a lot higher. So what I looked for, and what I usually look for, is I want to see a stock that is gapping up on hype news, meaning that news that might sound good, but actually if you read through it, it's like the headline sounds good. Like CLBS, for example, they announced, what did it say? CLBS. Claudius received FDA regenerative medicine advanced therapy, blah blah blah, for there or something. So like the headline is really bullish. Just that you put in FDA recognition and received makes like the average Joe really hyped about this. They don't want to look into it too much. They just want to trade momentum stocks, quick in, quick out. They're not cared too much. But if you really look into it, the news isn't like they have been granted advanced regenerative medicine advanced therapy to the company's late stage. I think this is their medicine. And so what really stands out to me that this is hype is that, first off, their product or their medicine is in late stage. It's late stage, meaning that it's not approved yet, and late stage can be like the first stage of phase 3, stuff like that. So basically, basically playing setups that are gapping up on hype news, and you also want to look into the filings, see if there's some dirt in there. And with both CLBS and LTBR, there are an ATM, at the market offering. Basically means that an at the market offering, they can sell shares up to a set price that I announced in the offering at any time and at any price. So and if you look into the filings more deeply, they hadn't sold any shares as of the latest 10Q, stated that on the 31st of March they hadn't sold any, and this offering was of 12 million. So $12 million worth of share is possible to be sold. This gives me a very brief idea, or a very clear idea, because when a stock has an ATM, they want to sell it at a specific time. They want to hype up their stock and get it boosted so high that is possible, because you don't want to sell down at these levels like 390, because then the stock is just going to get depressed, and like investors or just the average person that is trying to buy this don't want to buy a stock that it's at its all-time lows. So what you're going to see is companies hyping up and then just basically dumping shares to raise capital, and that's exactly what CLBS and LTBR did today. Unfortunately, LTBR did this even pre-market, and like these last couple of weeks when I've been looking at all of these gap ups, I haven't been that have made me not a big fan of like making any trades pre-market, because I've seen so many stocks that just fade and then at open just rips. But the one very nice or very brief and very interesting idea that I got was that I haven't been tracking specifically stocks that has an ATM. So I'm basically going to go back and look at that, which stocks that has an ATM, and look how they act pre-market. If you compare CLBS and LTBR, you can see a clear difference. CLBS tends to hold up, and LTBR just perhaps even pre-market. But if we're going to get into the trade and the entries and exits, I did a really good job of waiting this out. I was watching LTBR and CLBS at the same time, and I was just hoping for LTBR to spike so that I would get something to short into, but basically just scrapped, and I didn't want to chase weakness. So unfortunately my locate fees just got wasted. I actually located 1k because I was really confident about this trade. But CLBS was my backup plan. They were the same type of setup, but I was mainly focusing on LTBR because I was more confident about it, mainly due to the fact that these catalysts that CLBS had a really good it had a really good reaction yesterday, which made me not unsure about the setup, but not as comfortable as with LTBR. Anyhow, I did a really good job of entering in this 1045. I entered at 1045. I waited for this spike up here, and I prove it to you right here. So 940, which is into this spike, and this Wixaw action is just a bug on STT. Then I took some off into this low right here, 927, 920 something, like 925 actually, right here. Why I did this was that so the tracking shows with like the majority of the gap and craps, or the majority of the gap ups, that we have like somewhere in between 20 to 30% of downside from the highs. So from 1164 down to 9-ish, or even 908 to be specific, is 20% of decrease. So I took like 2/3 off right here. I wanted to play the last third more patient. Unfortunately, I got so impatient with it that I just cut it into this mid-range consolidation, or this mid-range bouncing, and that's something that I really had to improve on. And the fact that I did this was basically because I didn't want to take a loss. I didn't want this to spike up again and then saying, oh shoot, I didn't feel and didn't take my profits and ran. But as you can see, I missed like, I don't know, what is this, almost, it's not 10%, but it's probably 6% of downside. So until next time, I'm going to be super more patient with this. And yeah, it's just about getting more comfortable with the trading setups. If we're gonna talk about LTBR real quick, what I can improve on until next time is basically when I see this topping action, because this is a really clear topping action with this failed bounce afterwards and this just beef downwards, is that I can take a start at least, or I can start with my short and have a tight risk, so I don't have to risk like half day. I can risk this stuff bounce. But yeah, I'm basically getting more and more comfortable with this specific setup. Hopefully you'll see more great trades from my part on this thing, on this kind of setup. um, I'm not going to get over aggressive unless I see anything that I clearly understand. Um, so yeah, that's basically it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you had a nice day of trading. And as always, I'll see you in the chat. Peace.